Hi, Margarita. You said two things in your post that really excite me. Um, and I just think that they're probably some of the coolest things that I've learned. Um, and I know that they come from Egan, and Egan is my favorite thing, my favorite resource that I've gotten throughout this entire college experience. But you mentioned positive regard and brain plasticity, right? And I know that Ivy and Ivy and it's so it's that level anyway. Talks about neuroplasticity and like mirror neurons and all the neuroscience and stuff, which is so fascinating. Um, but positive regard is so cool, and just the basic fundamental principle that you can apply that translates into kind of a apologetic argument, right? Like power, um, life and death is in the power of the tongue, and the mind focus on the flesh produces things of the flesh. The mind focus on the spirit produces things of the spirit. And I just think that it is so cool that that kind of idea where like renewing your mind, which also in the Bible, right, um, can actually have effective and measurable outcomes, right? And so, how you think about things and how you're disciplining your mind, again, in the Bible, um, it shows and it's proven to work, right? And so that's one of the main reasons why it excites me, is because it is just a fundamental aspect of how we have been created, right? And so many therapies are stemmed off of this kind of idea where you reshape and you kind of reform yourself, which is what counseling and therapy is. But you have like cognitive behavioral therapy, you have like dialectical therapies, you have exposure therapies, but it's they all stem from this idea, right? That we just are able to, through discipline and repetition and exposure, can work ourselves towards being better, right? And that's one thing that I really love about Egan, is he gives people the driver's seat, which is how it should be in therapy. You shouldn't create a dependency, um, which I love that the emphasis is on that. Um, that you help people find that within themselves, and you change the narrative that they keep on repeat in their mind. And I just think that that is so fascinating, and that feeds right into the brain plasticity, like you did so well in your post. It's our brains are constantly revisiting the same pathways, right? Like it's like walking around in a circle constantly. You're in the dirt. You're gonna get a ditch eventually, but that doesn't mean that you can't climb out and create a new path, right? It's the same thing in our brain, and it is just the most fascinating thing to know that, like, the more you work on that, the more that you focus on that, the stronger that those connections get. um, and I think that that's one thing that makes it so fun for people who are more predisposed to liking the scientific side of it, as well as the like qualitative research, where you see the actual results through people's testimonies, um, that it's proven on both sides. And yeah, I just think that it's amazing, and that the fact that communication outwardly but also inwardly has such an impact on who we are and how we behave, and how the quality of our life is experienced not just by ourselves but by others. But yeah, so I've really, really enjoyed your post. Thank you so much.